Today, we have called you to share information about what may pass as the most elaborate gold smuggling syndicate we have uncovered since the establishment of the Ghana Goldbod. And we are doing this because, as we all know, the Goldbod was set up not only to trade gold, not only to buy gold, export gold, and generate foreign exchange for the country, but one of the most important mandates we have been given is to wage a fight against the illegal gold trading and gold smuggling menace. And this we have been doing from day one when the Ghana Goldbod Act was signed by His Excellency the President into law on the 2nd of April 2025. And we do this work in a spirit of transparency and accountability so that we can carry the public along through your various esteemed platforms and get them to collaborate with us, support us in this endeavor, because the Goldbod cannot do this work alone. And it is in that light that every now and then we invite you to brief you about the successes or challenges of the fight, arrest, seizures that have been made, and so on. And we also do that in the spirit of accountability. Because if you don't know what we are doing, the arrests we are making, the seizures we are making, then you are incapacitated from holding us accountable about how we handle these cases in the national interest. And so this is why we are here today. And as I've already indicated, this case we are briefing you on is a very, very, very serious case. We've been working on it for a number of weeks now. We've kept it under wraps because of the sensitive nature, because as I said, it involves a very elaborate, complicated gold smuggling syndicate that we've been tracking for a long time. And by the grace of God and thanks to a patriotic Ghanaian, we have been able to make some significant progress in getting the perpetrators to book. So on the 26th of August 2025, we got intel through one of our hotlines from a patriotic citizen of the land to the effect that some foreigners were in cahoots with certain licensed traders of the Goldbod. And what they were doing basically is that they give funds to these licensed traders of the Goldbod. These are not unlicensed traders. These are licensed traders of the Goldbod who are given money by these foreigners for the purpose of buying gold for and on their behalf, which gold they pick up from Takwa through various Ghanaian couriers. And these are couriers that they themselves have recruited to pick up the gold, which is bought for and on their behalf by their licensed Goldbod traders in the area. And so upon getting the tip-off, we deployed our task force to the area. They mounted a road search around the Winneba Junction. We had the number plate details of the vehicle that was dispatched on this very occasion to go and take delivery of the gold from Takwa. What they do is that they take delivery of the gold at Takwa from our licensed trader, bring it to Accra, aggregate it, and then they smuggle the gold across the border. They smuggle it across the Togo border, across the Lubu border, for their illegal gold trade business which they have established outside the borders of our country. So on the 27th of August, the following day, our Goldbod task force was successful in arresting the said vehicle, which was carrying one of the couriers. I'm saying one of the couriers because the couriers were from our intelligence 3 and not 1. But we're lucky to get one of them by name Abdul Razak. And Abdul Razak is here. Yes, come close so that they can see you. So this is Abdul Razak, a young Ghanaian guy who was arrested on that fateful day, the morning of 27th of August 2025. And when he was arrested, we found in his possession 3 packs of a substance which we suspected to be gold. And so the substances were seized and sent to the Goldbod assay laboratory for the necessary test. Upon assay, it was discovered that the substances were indeed gold, and they had an average purity of 92.5% and a gross weight of 9.2 kg and a net weight of 8.5 kg. And so, per the price of gold at the time, the gold was valued at almost 10.2 million Ghana cedis. In today's terms, it will be far higher because, as you may be aware, the price of gold has gone up significantly in recent time. But as at the time the seizure was made, the gold was worth more than 10.2 million Ghana cedis. In old Ghana cedi terms, that is more than 100 billion. Yeah, so we are talking about significant funds. Upon interrogation, it was discovered that this young man, Abdul Razak, was recruited by his cousin by name Abdul Karim to do this work for a fee of 500 Ghana cedis per trip, and that they've been doing this work for this Abdul Karim actively in the last 2-3 months, and have, according to him, he may be lying, he may be saying the truth, they've been to Takwa, to this same location, this same licensed gold trader of the Goldbod for gold on about 4 occasions. As a result of these findings, the Goldbod again embarked on an operation to arrest the said licensed gold trader who operates under the name NK Benak Enterprise. It's a sole proprietorship, and the sole proprietor is called Bernard Nkrumah. The name of the business is NK Benak Enterprise, and Mr. Bernard Nkrumah is the gentleman who is standing next to the deputy CEO. So he was arrested together with some of his workers. Upon interrogation, we realized that some of the workers were not directly involved in this whole smuggling, so they were granted bail. But he, together with Abdul Razak, were kept in custody for 24 hours for Bernard and 48 hours for Abdul Razak. Another arrest was also made as a result of findings from their interrogation, which was the arrest of a gentleman called Arim Yao. And Arim Yao is also here. And they were, all the 3 of them were arraigned before court for the first time on the 5th of September 2025. Now, what we have uncovered so far indicates, I say so far because investigations are still ongoing, indicates that since June 2025, a company by name Rafmoh Gold Limited, Rafmoh is spelled RAFMOH, Rafmoh Gold Limited. If you check from the Registrar General's Department, you realize that there are many companies that bears the name Rafmoh. So they have Rafmoh Jewelry, but in this case we are talking about Rafmoh Gold Limited. The shareholder is the same, a gentleman by name Rafik Muhammad Nandoli. And from the findings of our investigation so far and what suspects in custody have told us, it does appear that the shareholder of the company by name Rafiq Mohammed Nandoli, Rafmore for short, who is also called Salam, is the mastermind and sponsor of this whole gold smuggling syndicate we've been tracking for a couple of months now. The company was engaged in gold trading under the defunct PMMC regime. But upon the passage of the Goldbod Act, when foreigners were banned from directly purchasing gold from the local markets, they changed their style, their methods, and the way they operate, and decided to hide behind licensed gold traders to buy gold. And we believe that the gold they buy is smuggled out of the country per the intelligence we have so far. And we discovered that in a period of 2 months, per what suspects in custody have told us, they bought nothing less than 100 kilograms of gold. And 100 kilograms of gold will be worth more than 120 million Ghana cedis within this period. And this Rafmore Gold Limited is not licensed. None of their entities are licensed by the Gold Board to be able to buy gold. And even though the one who supplied the gold is licensed, his terms and conditions that governs his operations as a licensed tier 2 buyer don't also allow him to sell gold to foreigners or to an unlicensed entity. That license only allows him to buy gold and supply that gold to a licensed aggregator of the Gold Board. Now, there are some key people who are worthy of mention in this case. One is an Indian by name Afsar Putalan. And this Afsar Putalan, we understand, is a key officer of Rafmore Gold. Per the intelligence we have received so far, and from investigations, it does appear that he is the manager of Rafmore Gold's gold trade interest in the Takwa enclave. And so he was the one who was directly dealing with our licensed trader, Bernard Nkrumah, who runs the business NK Benak Enterprise. And this Afsar was actively working with Abdul Karim, who operates more or less as an accountant and a transporter. He is the one who recruits these young guys as couriers and sends them to Benak. And we believe other gold traders, not just Benak. But like I said, we are still investigating, and so we would not like to put those details out. So they go and carry this, and they go with public transport, Toyota Haze and all that. They carry it, they put it in their bags, they come to Accra, and then this Abdul Karim goes to them at Newtown in Accra here, or sends them to come to where he stays around the Shaman, Lashibi area, and then he collects the gold for and on behalf of Rafmore, and through other couriers, they are able to take the gold out. So Afsar Putalan is one of the suspects that we are investigating in this case, and so is Abdul Karim. And there is a third one who is the brother of Abdul Karim called Sadiq Abubakar. And so far, investigations show that he is senior, not only by age, not only in age to Abdul Karim, but also in terms of the role he plays in the Rafmore Gold Smuggling Syndicate. And that he's the one who handles all the transport interest of Rafmore and works with people like Arim Yao to take the gold out. Like I said, Rafmore itself has a shareholder called Rafiq Mohammed Nandoli, who goes by the name Salam. And so his real name is not what he is called. If you follow the real name, you will never know that he's the one who is the mastermind of everything. As I speak to you, we have these 3 suspects in custody. They were first arraigned, as I've already indicated, before the High Court on the 5th of September and remanded into NIB custody for 1 week. They reappeared on the 12th. Okay, so the first one was 29th of August when they were remanded for 1 week, and then they reappeared on the 5th of September and were remanded for another 1 week. But on the 12th of September, they were all admitted to bail on the following conditions: a bail sum of 50 million Ghana cedis, 2 sureties, one of which must be justified with landed property, and mandatory reporting to the Goldbod investigative team every other day for the next 3 weeks. So this is the decision of the High Court. They are still in custody because I suspect they've not met the conditions yet, but that is what the High Court has ruled, and until that changes, nobody can vary that. But 4 key suspects in this case are at large, and they are the main reason why we call this press conference. Number 1 is the transporter and accounts officer of Rafmore called Abdul Karim. The second is Afsar Putalan, the Indian who runs a lot of the gold businesses of Rafmore and was responsible for the Atakwa business and dealt directly with Abdul Razak and Benak. And then there is Sadiq Abubakar. And then there is the Chief Supremo himself, Rafiq Mohammed Nandoli, aka Salam. Other directors and shareholders of the company are also wanted, and so we are still pursuing them, and it is our hope that you, our friends in the media and members of the general public who have information about these 4 individuals I have mentioned, will share that information about their whereabouts to assist us to apprehend them, to aid in investigations. And by the way, we have arrest warrants for each of them, and they've all been declared wanted by the police. The wanted list form has been duly completed, and so the police is aware. They are wanted by the police and the Ghana Goldbod. And so if you have information, any information about their whereabouts, you can report same to the nearest police station or to the Goldbod head office, or you can call any of these 2 free lines you see on the screen, 0800 444 653 or 0800 444 654. And we have a bounty of 1 million Ghana cedis on each of them, not on all the 4, on each of them. Even as we pursue these key suspects to bring them to justice, a number of actions have already been taken by the Goldbod. First of all, we have closed down the business of NK Benak Enterprise. All his trading offices have been closed down. Once we are done with this, a special compliance notice in the form of a press statement will be issued. And we want to make the point that the general public, all licensed gold buyers, all licensed miners are to take note that the entity called NK Benak Enterprise and its sole proprietor Bernard Nkrumah have been closed down by the Goldbod. They no longer have any lawful authorization to trade in gold, as their license has been suspended forthwith. And so if you have any business whatsoever to do with them relative to gold trading, you must cease from that forthwith. Rafmore Gold, from our investigations, have already closed down their gold trading offices on the Osu Oxford Street. However, other businesses of theirs, like Rafmore Jewelry, located at Palace Mall, were still being operated. And from the findings of our investigations, we have cause to believe that this business is yet another conduit for their gold smuggling activities. And so the Goldbod has closed down Raffmore Gold Jewelry. And we are aggressively, as I've already said, pursuing the shareholders and directors. All these persons have mentioned, the 3 suspects already in custody and the 4 persons at large, have all been charged for dealing in gold without authorization, for facilitating gold smuggling, for smuggling gold, for transporting gold without authorization, and for attempting to smuggle gold, among other charges. And this is a case that the Deputy Attorney General of the Republic is directly involved in this prosecution. Attorney General and the DPP are all working with us closely to make sure that we present a watertight case in the interest of the Republic and in the interest of justice. Now, I'll conclude with a very important lead that may help whistleblowers, patriotic Ghanaians who may want to help us in apprehending these suspects. And it is that these guys are not just involved in gold trading. If you look for them in the gold trade industry or spectrum, you may not find them. What our investigations have so far revealed is that they are involved in all manner of businesses. And one of the businesses they are involved in is an illegal FX, how should I say it? An illegal foreign exchange business. So you see all these alagis all over the place, the black market foreign exchange business in this country. They have key stakeholders in that. They have various people that they do that with. And these guys take cedis from people who need dollars, and they, here I'm talking about Mohammed Nandoli Rafiq, Salam, working through Sadiq Abubakar and Abdul Karim, provide dollars to their accomplices who are involved in this illegal foreign exchange trade. And then they settle their customers. They settle some through Momo, and they settle some through what is called in Ghana today as Hawala. So the reason why they do this gold business and where they make the money from is that when they buy gold illegally and they smuggle the gold, they leave the dollars in Dubai. And so if you need dollars in Ghana, they tell you that we have dollars in Dubai. And you can get somebody in Dubai to pick the dollars there whilst they take your cedis here. That is how they do this business. And so if you are somebody involved in this money changing business, or you know people, then you ask about them, you may get useful information that you may be able to share with us that can lead to the apprehension. We have a lot of suspects that we have arrested and who are cooperating with us. And as I said, this is the topmost priority of the Goldbod. We are working with Interpol, we are working with all relevant state institutions like the Signals Bureau, like the NSB, like National Security, FIC. They are all doing a yeoman's job in assisting us to unravel the facts so that same can be put before a court of competent jurisdiction. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we have taken the pain to take you through all these facts to reinforce our commitment to the fight against the illegal gold trading and gold smuggling menace. We are determined and resolved to enforce the Goldbod Act and other laws of our land without fear or favor. And we are determined to end the era of unchecked gold smuggling and restore integrity to Ghana's gold trade. So we would like to urge all gold buyers who are licensed by the Goldbod, all licensed miners, all companies, businesses, and stakeholders in the gold trade to adhere strictly to the provisions governing gold trade in Ghana. Our task force have been deployed, and they will enforce the law without fear or favor. Your political affiliations will not save you. So when you are arrested, you can't say, I am an NDC constituency chairman or Sami Jenfi is my friend. They will enforce the law no matter who you are. Even if John Mahama is your father, they will enforce the law. Because John Mahama, His Excellency, President of the Republic, has given us his full support to do this work in the interest of our nation. And we will not succumb to any pressure or interference from any office. So make sure that you are complying with the terms and conditions of your license, which is that you buy gold only when you have a license and you sell gold only when you have a license.